speaking of what I just brought up on purpose, refunds. I found this video of one. Now I found this video through I forget her account, but she's very funny, and she sort of is on the R end of things, like anti spirituality, coaching, and all that stuff. She went through an experience where she was like becoming a shaman type thing, and she decided, like, after years of doing all these like retreats and stuff, that it was all bullshit in her opinion. And so now she's made an account to sort of combat all these like misinformation, coaching, and manipulation tactics and things. So she shared it, and then I found this woman through her account. So I'll look for her name because I forget her actual name on TikTok, but I'll find it, and she's really good. So I didn't find this on my own. She actually shared it first. But this is like she's a coach, one of these life coaching, business coaching, I'll do whatever you need me to do, just pay me money coaching, this person, apparently. And this is her hot take on refunds if you buy her products. And we can look at her products in a second. But here you go. I want to hear your opinion.
So many people get really emotionally caught up in refunds. They get emotionally caught up in people who say, your program didn't work for me and I want my money back. And I want to just take a moment to share with you my perspective on that. And I know this is going to burn some people, but I also know that you suffering in your emotional state because someone didn't get a result from something is not your obligation. So people write to me and they go, I want a refund. I didn't get a result from your program. And I know, because I've been doing this 14 years and have had thousands of people get great results, that we gave you the container to do what you needed to do to become who you needed to become to get a result. So if you didn't, that actually tarnishes my reputation. I now have someone out there who did my program and didn't get a result. So as opposed to you getting a refund, I feel like I should get some compensation for you not doing the work.
No,
Thoughts?
no way. This is not real. This is not real. This has to be a joke. You're on mute, I think.
Sorry, I was chewing on my M&Ms. No, I don't think so. I think this is her real take, and I think she has since deleted this one because I can only find the stitches for this video. I can't find the original, but thankfully I downloaded it like as soon as I saw it. And she has other things about refunds on her page, but this one was like the one that sort of blew up, and people were like, "What the fuck? Like, what is that? We owe you extra money for." I don't know.
Yeah, that is.
For
I'm pretty sure this would be illegal in so many
Yeah.
ways. Like, I don't think companies do refunds because they just are so nice. I think
Yeah.
there's some laws about that.
Yeah. It just shows the level of or lack of understanding about business by these business coaches. Like, I can teach you how to run a 20,000 figure business, like all these people online say, and then you actually go into like what they know. They don't know how to do their taxes. They don't know how to do like how to issue a refund, any laws.
They know how to issue a refund. That's not the issue. The issue is they don't want to give you the money back.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. And that's why she's saying that. And oh my God, she literally said the small print essentially out loud.
Yeah.
Like, actually, you're ruining my reputation. It's like, well, yes, yes.
Because at first I was like, when watching, I was like, okay, so like her reputation's ruined, like, or not ruined, but someone's had a bad experience. Like, that's bad for me. So like, take your opinion to Yelp, but don't get a return or whatever. Like, okay, I can kind of understand that. Maybe like, well, I coached you for a year and you didn't get the results, that my time is still used or whatever. But she's talking about like online coaching. So it's like, the online course didn't work for somebody. They didn't like it. They didn't finish it. Okay, give me my money back. I don't know.
She's saying that because she basically doesn't want to do it. She probably had some people. And here's the thing. This is what happened with Brittany Dawn.
Yeah.
This is exactly what happened. It didn't just in my opinion, I don't know because she's not quite yet released any information.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, that's what happened for 6 years or more. 6 years? Why am I thinking 6 years? Since 2014. So that would be more than 6 years. I'm like 8 years. 8 years or so, probably she had plenty of people being like, this is not personalized to me, give me a refund. And she didn't want to give them a refund because she wanted the money.
Money spent.
So
Too
so
bad.
now she's getting seriously sued. Like
Yeah.
it's not like, giving people refunds is not like optional. It's not just something that
Yeah.
you can opt out of and be like, actually, I just don't,
I'm
you guys
good.
do it if you want to. Like I don't want to. So, it's,
Yeah.
it's
I'm good.
very it's very bizarre.
It is very bizarre. And this is her website. She seems to be like a lot of the other ones. Just like I think a lot of people have this thought pattern, I guess, in this space. I don't think she's the only one. I think she's the only one that's like said it so bluntly and so, sort of idiotically in that way. But like,
Yeah.
what business have you had? Like, that's what I always want to know. Like, her whole thing is, I help entrepreneurs start, scale, and skyrocket their business. Okay, but what's your business? And like, how do you do that? And I'm just scrolling quickly, but like, all of this is like, just like emotional manipulation. Like, are you ready to, oh, and here's a case study. Let's see.
Of course, 5 stars.
Of
Who would
course.
ever give her less than 5 full
Yeah.
stars?
Yeah. And she's a coach. Okay. So she helped a coach go from $0 to $5,000 a month in 16 months. That's kind of low, no?
I mean, not to me. To me, it's 5,000. It's kind of a decent
In 16 months?
salary.
It took a year and almost a half to get to 5,000, and you're paying for coaching that probably costs a
Yeah, that's
thousand
the
dollars a
problem.
day.
But also, this is why I feel like there's kind of scrambling for like success stories.
Yeah,
And sometimes there's people like allegedly Natasha Graziano, for example, who just straight up make up those stats. Like
that's true.
this person made 5 million by working with me for 2 days. It's
One
like
second. Yeah,
um
true.
so I don't even with people like that, I'm like, why are they in prison yet? But allegedly, this is just my opinion. So,
Sure. Of course.
um, but at least she's scrambling there to find a success story, and even that, I have this gigantic mistrust towards these
Yeah,
um customer reviews. I don't know who these are. I don't know if they're true. I don't know if they're taken out of context. What she said actually was, I made $5,000 after 16 months, and that was it, and not just monthly, just one time. Then
exactly.
it's a completely like, I don't know the whole context. I'm not looking at their tax paperwork or whatever. So I just find it very
It's all
I don't
bullshit, usually, probably, most likely.
it's all usually, in my opinion, it's they're made up.
And from I worked at a startup for a year and a half right before the pandemic started, and that was my first experience in the startup world. And a lot of it, like all of the money that all of the employees were paid, essentially was coming from investment. And so when we were not making a profit based on the business that we were running, and I wasn't a founder, I was just like an employee, but we never made money ever. But we would say we like brought in $1 million last year, as we're asking for more investments. But the investments were what was running the company. So I'm like, this is a scam. This is a Ponzi scheme, basically. But that's like how it works. Like you fudge the numbers. You're like, oh, we brought in $100 million last year. It's like, yeah, but we spent $400 million, and all that $100 million came from seed funding, which is like the opposite of what this business is supposed to be doing. But you can't. I don't know. It made me very distrustful of even a company with legitimate lawyers on staff and things. You can't trust them. I'm definitely not going to trust some lady in her house that's like claiming to be a business coach. Like, you can't
Yeah, you
trust no
can't.
one.
And also, I don't think those things are even, there's no way to even check unless you are like the IRS or like whatever is the equivalent
Totally.
of the IRS here, for example. Like those are the only people who are able to actually like get bank account statements, things like that. Other than that, you just
Mm-hmm.
kind of listen to what they say, and you have to use your critical thinking skills, because like they can say anything. I could
Sure.
say that. I could, it's just
Yeah.
there is no way anyone could ever see if I'm lying or not. So,
Yeah.
I mean, you can see things like, oh, they don't have a Lamborghini or whatever, but then,
They can just
there's
rent
people,
it.
yeah, there's people who rent out villas and pretend that's
That's
where they
theirs.
live. It's,
I guess the whole point and like the lesson of all of
hey,
this
Savvy.
is hi Savvy. Tara says hi Savvy. Say hi. Hold on. There's some purrs for you, Savvy. The whole point of this is like use your discernment. If someone is showing you like, oh, my lifestyle, and that's the only proof that you have that this person is successful, and like they're selling you a dream, you got to check yourself, because that is not enough to go forward and go, oh, I want to buy this person's course or whatever. It's most likely bullshit. It's all manipulation, in my opinion.
Yeah, yeah. Usually, and this is, I would go as far as to think that it is sort of a pyramid, or at least the
At
pyramid
least one in three.
structure,
Sorry,
or
what were
at
you saying?
least a pyramid structure or something. Because, like, I feel with coaching, there isn't a product.
Yeah.
And it's like, where's the product? Because normally, if you don't have a product, it's a pyramid scheme, it's a Ponzi scheme.
Yeah, they call it a container. I'm making a container for you. It's like, what? It's
Or
just
like
an
Kim's
online
container of
course.
tissues.
Yeah, a container of tissues created by Skims. Skim Kims or whatever it's called. Yeah, basically.
Container of dreams for you. Um,
I was just clicking around, and this one's another thing I always see with these business coaches. It's like their solution to everything. It's like, hey, like I don't know how to make more money in my business. They're like, charge more. It's like that's the only solution you have. Charge more always. It's like that doesn't work like in a business mindset. Like, can you imagine like Kraft Foods or McDonald's goes, hey, like we need an idea of how to, increase customers. Or like charge more. Like, okay, thanks.
yeah.
That's a good idea. So here's
Yeah, just ruin the two relationships you have with your two customers
yeah.
by teaching them more. That's the way to go. Yeah.
And it's like, and this is another thing that bothers me to no end. Make that money, mama.
Ugh,
Lady,
they
stop.
always they
Mama.
always target moms. They
Moms,
always
always.
target moms.
Yeah.
Because they use that guilt that moms usually have, especially when they're like new moms or something, and they want to spend more time with the kid, but they can't afford it. They have to go back to work, etc. So they use that to their
Yeah.
advantage to target them.
Start working from your nooks and crannies on your phone while you're home, mama. Yeah, I hate it. Stop calling me mama. Don't call me sweetie. Don't call me like, as much as I don't like a man to demean me in that way, like, oh, sweetheart, like that pisses me off. Or kiddo, like in the corporate space, that always would piss me off. The same can be said for a woman, and I think it is also demeaning. Whether that person's a woman as well and is calling me mama and baby and all this stuff, like I don't care who's the person behind saying it, calling me those things in a professional setting, hate it, cannot stand it.
Okay, babe.
Okay, babe. And that's why I use it specifically. Maybe this is a problem within myself, but when someone's giving like really stupid advice or saying something completely ridiculous, I'm like, girlfriend, girly, baby, because it is like supposed to be an insult.
I feel called out because I do use babe a lot, but like
How,
in
to who?
not people that I work with, just like
Yeah,
just
your
like
boss. Hey,
pals.
babe.
No, oh God.
Babe, someone, if you know them, that's fine. That's like why you have names for each other, nicknames and things. That's like how you deserve to be spoken to in that way, because you've earned it, like by your friendship or whatever. But when it's like a stranger or someone on the internet calling me mama or babe, I just cannot. I can't. I hate it. It turns me off immediately.
I don't think I would call anyone ever in a professional setting something like that. I would just use their first name or their. In fact, maybe this is where it's the cultural differences are helpful, if you will, because in Romania we don't even go, and that applies to Germany as well, for example, and France. You don't go by the first name, you go by the last name. You go, I would say, hello, Mrs. O'Brien. I wouldn't say hello, Kayla. And in the UK, this is fine. You can go by the first name. And my dad asked me to send an email to someone in Germany, like a professional relationship he has there, and I said I used the first name, and he was like, "Oh my god, why
How
would you
dare you?
do that?" And I was like, "What
It's
do you
funny.
mean? There's nothing wrong with it." And he was like, "You can never say that." And I
Aw.
was just like, "Shit, sorry."
It's interesting. Yeah, it's like also like social awareness. Like, and I was just thinking about it. I was like, well, it's not a hard and fast rule where it's like, I will never respect anyone who ever says it. But I think there's certain times where it's appropriate, like friends and people you know. And if you're joking and you're in a good setting, but in a business setting, no. And someone trying to intimidate you, like in a, job interview, I don't know, some sort of competition or something. Like if a waitress or a waiter or something was like, "Hey honey, how are you?" I'm not gonna be like, "Fuck you, lady." Like, obviously I think it's like, okay, that's like how they speak. It's fine. But I think it's when those cases are specific and you can kind of tell, well, hopefully, like
When
discern.
there's a power imbalance,
Yes,
right?
that power
When they're
struggle. And you're going to come in and say honey buns. I'm like,
yeah, they wanna use that to just establish themselves as above.
yeah, like, oh, okay. Because, like, what would I call a man or even another fellow woman, like, that I wanted to intimidate, in that way? Like, oh, hello, little boy. Like, to like a grown-ass man.
I think I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna borrow this concept and just call all the men I ever work with darling, sweethearts. Be like, "Hey,
Darling.
sweetheart, thank you for this report.
Yeah.
Bye now."
I think they would get very upset very quickly is my guess.
Well,
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Maybe we should experiment and try. We should do like a vlog of like calling men
Buddy.
sweetheart for the next 24 hours.
call them buddy.
My
Buddy, hey
buddy
buddy.
old pal.
Hey pal. Well, pal is very common here.
I hear a lot of people call Steven boss. Hey, boss.
Oh,
Why?
this is when they want. Oh, I know. Oh,
Trying
in
to sell him
Romania
a
they do
car or
this too.
something. Hey,
Like,
boss.
oh, I hate it. I hate it when people do that. Oh my God. They always want to make the other person feel so good because they're selling them something.
Yeah.
And I think this is the same concept here with the mama.
Yeah,
They're like,
mama. Hey, mama. You're a working mama like me. Be a mama. Join my MLM, mama llama llama mama. Lulu llama llama mama. We sell nonsense. Okay. We should write a children's book against MLMs and like make it like that.
Oh yes, we'll call it tea time with
Mama llama.
with tarot.
Tea time with tarot. The adventures of saying no in your DMs. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. We should do that and release it at the same time as Dave.
Yeah.
Because obviously, he's still not quite there yet.
We
so-
better work quick because it's coming out soon. Start
Oh,
illustrating
champs!
tonight.
You got champ? Oh,
Hey,
this is,
champ.
yeah.
Oh, God.
This is very 1990s.
That's like your stepdad who doesn't know your name forgot it. Hey, champ. He's got his secret family. He's like, wait, what's your name? Champ.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, let's listen to one more and then we'll watch one more for this ladies and then we'll listen to a man's perspective. So this is sort of like, it actually ties very well into the next video as well. Like how men, and I'm speaking in a very generalized way. Obviously there's many caveats and with gender and all that stuff, but this is like, man and woman. I'm going to just say those two as like the examples today. This is like mamas is a way to appeal to the female audience, I would imagine. And then we're going to see what a man who is leading a group of trainees in a sales course, how he gets them riled up, inspires them. The daddies, I guess they're not dads though, but
The buds.
the pals, how he gets the pals going.
I'm loving this.
I know.
It's so funny.
Bucko. Hey, Bucko. I've used that before.
Tiger. I've never heard this one. I don't think it's very common here, but I've heard it in TV shows and stuff.
Which one? Tiger?
Tiger.
Hey,
Yeah.
Tiger. That's like a sports one. Like you're on the little league field and like, hey, Tiger, you missed the ball. I don't know.
Sport. Oh, you
Bruh.
guys have a lot more than us here.
Yeah. You got to come to America for all the demeaning nicknames.
I called my ex honey.
Honey buns.
Now I'm like, oh, I was patronized.
Honey?
Yeah,
Oh, honey.
that's not how we do things.
Honey? No. Okay, best way to know if you're charging enough.
At least 1 in 3 people aren't saying no to you because of your pricing, then your price too low. I have people all the time that come to me and they're like, I have an 80% conversion rate. Everybody says yes. I'm like, well, because you're basically paying them to be in your program. You need to double your rates right now. At least 1 in 3 people aren't saying no to you because.
Now it says I liked it. God damn it. Undo that. Okay, so that's not exciting. Boring. Boring advice.